nation. Hebrew kingdom building.
Y'all there? All right, I'm going to read verse 6 through 9. I'm at Benaiah, who give me verse 6 through 9.
Leviticus chapter 1, verse 6. And he shall skin the burnt offering and cut it into pieces. The sons of Aharon the priest shall put fire on the altar and lay the wood in order on the fire. Then the priest Aharon's sons shall lay the parts, the head and the fat in order on the wood that is on the fire upon the altar. But he shall wash its entrails and its legs with water.
Say it again.
But he shall wash its entrails and its legs with water.
Then what?
And the priest shall burn all on the altar as a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to Yahuwah.
Did y'all catch that? That's the water and fire, even on the whole burnt offering that the priest did every day for a whole burnt offering. They had to wash the entrails with water. They had to cut up the sacrifice first, but then they had to wash the entrail and its legs with water. The entrail and its legs with water. Then after that, they put it on the fire. Now that makes sense with Elijah. I know Elijah went all the way to the biggest extreme. He said but he did get it from something. The priest did do something similar. You get what I'm saying? There was water involved with the whole burnt offering. There was water and fire involved with the sacrifices. They did put water on the offerings first, based on the offering, just like what Elijah did. Y'all get what I'm saying? So I wanted to point that out, and then we're going to get into some other things here. Most High was showing me here that was actually in this Torah portion, but yeah, let's do it now. Why not do it now? Let's go to, no, we'll wait. So we talked about Noah's Ark, the cloud and the fire. That's in the Torah portion, how the cloud by day and the fire by night. That's water and fire. Also with Noah's Ark, Yahuwah judged the nations with water on Noah's Ark. Then he made a covenant that he's going to judge with fire the next time. Not a covenant, but part of the covenant is veiled in there. It is veiled. That the next time there will be judgment with fire. The covenant was a bow. You know what I'm saying? It was a bow. That word for bow is not usually used for a rainbow. If you look in the scriptures about, if I was to guess, 90% of the time it's used for a bow and arrow for war or for hunting. It don't even say rainbow at all in the Hebrew. It just says a bow. That's just a translation thing there, to make it make sense in English. But Peter confirmed it that the next time it'll be reserved for fire. Then we talked about Elijah. And now what I want to start off with is Mushal. So we talked about this on Shabbat yesterday. Last Shabbat, I mean, not yesterday. Oh, yeah, no problem. No, most definitely, no worries. Yep. Somebody give me the breakdown for Mushal. Oh, I was about to say, say that.
Splitting of the water with the shepherd's staff.
Y'all heard that? That was it. So it's about the splitting of the waters with the staff. What else are you splitting? Let's get Nathaniel. I think he got it.
It's also the splitting of the languages.
Yeah, he on it. The splitting of the languages. What else? Splitting of what else? Let's get Jay. Snap. Y'all was here, man, for real. Y'all was here. So the connotation is also the splitting of the languages. Let's go to Revelation chapter 1. Let me know when everybody get there. We're going to skip down to verse 13, okay? So this is actually showing a vision that Yachanan the Revelator had of Yahusha, okay? Revelation 1, let's start with verse 13 and let's read through 15. We might as well read through 16 just cause, though. Read through 16. Let's do it. Revelation 1, verse 13.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the seven lampstands, one like the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the feet, and girded about the chest with a golden band.
One like the who?
Son of Man.
Y'all see they call Yahusha son of Adam here. Let's keep going.
Verse 14. His head and hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes like a flame of fire. His feet were like fine brass, as if refined in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
Hold on. Did y'all catch that? His voice was as the sound of what?
Many waters.
Go ahead and read 16 too, just cause.
Verse 16. He had in his right hand 7 stars. Out of his mouth went a sharp two-edged sword, and his countenance was like the sun shining in its strength.
So, in a description of Yahusha, his voice was like the sound of many waters. And I told y'all that many waters can also mean languages, right? Let's look at that word voice in real quick. That word voice, if y'all have cause I don't have a slide, but it's G5456. It's a Greek word phone. Y'all know it. Y'all ever heard the word phonetics in English? It's about language, isn't it? The phonetics, phonetically speaking. I know when I was working at my job, to explain a word I would use like military phonetics. T is in Tango, Sierra, Charlie. You know what I'm saying? I know the military folk know about that. But it's about language. It's about being able to understand that your phonetics. It's like your dialect. It's more than just the word phone. It's the Greek word phone. If you look at the outline of biblical usage, if y'all have a Strong's Concordance, if you have a blue letter Bible, click on the word where it says voice, the sound as many waters. The word voice, it's phone. That's where you get the English word phonetics from. Just trying to repeat that so y'all can make sure y'all following what I'm saying. Because I want y'all to really understand this, not just hear me, but hear me. But if you look at the outline of biblical usage, if you look at number 3, what does it say? Speech of a, say it, Shimshon? Yeah, of a language or tongue. So I'm trying to help y'all see when you see the English, when it says voice it's of many waters, it's not like, No, it's in the context of words, of language, of speech as well. I mean, it's the voice too, but it's in reference to speaking. You know what I'm saying? All right. Just to drive it home, let's go to Acts chapter 2. Acts chapter 2. But that's how it be. The Most High, he'll start showing more and more stuff on this stuff, man, just to drive it home. All right, Acts chapter 2, y'all there? So let's read verses 5 and verses 6. This is when, y'all know the context of this. This is when the Ruach fell on the assembly. Remember, because this is when the immersion of the Ruach happened. This is when the immersion of the fire happened, right? Y'all remember that part? In Acts chapter 2, that was on Shavuot when the immersion of the fire happened. That's why tongues started. They started speaking in languages, in tongues. And it said in divided tongues, which is interesting because that's Mushal, the splitting of the languages. The splitting of the waters by the staff. The dividing of tongues. Prophetic utterances, that's also the connotation of tongues. Prophetic utterances. All right, now let's read it. Let's go. Let's do it again. 5 and 6.
Acts chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling in Jerusalem Yahudim, devout men from every nation under the Shamayim. And when this sound occurred, the multitude came together and were confused, because everyone heard them speak in his own language.
Read verse 6 again.
Verse 6. And when this sound occurred, the multitude came together and were confused, because everyone heard them speak in his own language.
That word sound occurred is phone, y'all. And you see that it's in context to what? A language is being spoken. People were speaking in their own language. They're talking about when this sound occurred. What sound? It was when everybody was speaking in their own language. It's phone. I know you can be like, no, they're talking about when they said they heard wind. Nah, it could be that too, possibly. But this is the word phony, and it's referring to what they were hearing was people speaking in their own language. We know that because it literally says that, and when this sound occurred, the multitude came together and were confused because everyone heard them speak in his own language. You don't get no clearer than that to me. And I'm speaking to myself because when I used to read this fast, I thought when they said this sound occurred, they were talking about, the sound, when they heard wind blowing, the rushing of the mighty wind. All right. So let's keep that in mind, and we're going to keep moving. So we also saw in Revelation 17, it makes it pretty clear. I showed y'all the veil, where it's veiled in the scriptures, that waters means tongues. You saw the voice, Yahusha spoke with his voice as of many waters. And then you see it's pretty clear here. It says, the one on the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and talked with me, saying, to me, come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot who sits on many waters. And you skip down to verse 15. He said to me, the waters which you saw where the harlot sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, but also tongues. So the tongues is the one that's least talked about when you look at the mem, as far as what a breakdown meaning of it is. That's one you might not even heard it before, actually. That's not going to be in like a Jeff Brenner book or nothing. But it's there. I just showed y'all. Yahusha spoke with the voice of many waters. When the Ruach fell on the assembly, the same word that was used for that voice, phone languages, that's what they heard. That's the word that was used for when they heard multiple languages spoken, even then. And it even said that it was like divided tongues. And in Acts chapter 2, what did they say? Everybody, Yahudim from under heaven was from all these nations were there. All right. So this is something else. Let's go to Genesis 1, Mishpago. This is something else I want us to look at. This part is pretty amazing to me. Yahuwah is amazing. Yahuwah is amazing. All right. So let's start with verse 6. I got that on the screen, but go ahead and turn it. I want everybody to turn to Genesis 1 because we're going to look at a couple of other verses too. That's not on the screen.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 6. Then Yahuwah said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Thus Yahuwah made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament.
So he divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. The firmament is Rakia, right? And it was so. Keep going, verse 8.
Verse 8. And Yahuwah called the firmament Shamayim.
Oh, what did he call the firmament?
Shamayim.
Ooh, he called the firmament Shamayim. Keep going.
Verse 8. And Yahuwah called the firmament Shamayim. So the evening and the morning were the second day.
So in day 2, the Shamayim was solidified. It was named. Yahuwah made a distinction. He separated the waters from the waters using the firmament. Then he called the firmament Shamayim. And the firmament was what cut the waters. The firmament is what divided the waters. I get what I'm saying? The firmament is called Shamayim. Yahuwah called the firmament Shamayim. He called the firmament heaven. If you look up here, he said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it, that's the firmament, divide the waters. Y'all get what I'm saying? He used the firmament to divide the waters. If y'all not following me, please ask, please, so we can, so I can get this, because this is big. This is big, man. He used the firmament to divide the waters. All right. Just keep that in mind. And the firmament, he didn't call the firmament no more. He gave it a name, which is called Shamayim. All right, verse 9. I can tell y'all get that.
That's all I was going to say.
Oh, go ahead. What?
I was going to say, well, maybe obvious to some is it's in the name, right? Shamayim. And the shin, you have shin, and then you have Mayim.
Dividing the waters.
It means dividing of the waters.
Ah, man, that's huge right there. All praise to the Most High. See, more and more stuff keep coming out. See, Most High going to be showing y'all more and more stuff, too. I'm going to be like, man.
Verse 9. Then Yahuwah said, let the waters under the Shamayim be gathered together into one place.
Oh, you know what? You're going to have to say that on the mic, though.
So what I was saying was that it's in the name that the firmament divided the waters from the waters, because it is called what? The Shamayim. And if you look, that is Shin and Mayim. And the word Mayim is Hebrew for water. And you know Shin means to divide or separate. So the separation or division of the waters.
Hallelujah. That's it right there. Okay, verse 9.
Verse 9. Then Yahuwah said, let the waters under the Shamayim be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And
Okay. So this is deep. Let the waters that are under the Shamayim be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. This is the third day. This is when this happened. And it was so. Verse 10, go ahead.
Verse 10. And Eluah called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And Eluah saw that it was two.
Those waters under the heavens, that's the other nations. That's the other nations. That's an invasion. He gathered them together and allowed dry, so that dry land can appear, so dry land can be revealed. It's so the dry land can be revealed. It's so Adam can be revealed. Adama. Get what I'm saying? So you'll read in the next chapter what happens. That's why once he allowed dry land to appear, matter of fact, nah, we won't do that. In the next chapter, then he created Adama based off of that dry land that he allowed to appear. So basically, that's how the sons of Adam are revealed. That's how the sons of men are revealed. It's through the splitting of the pressing of the nations. Through the gathering of the waters, the splitting of the waters under the heaven, though. We are of the Shamayim. All the other nations are the waters under the heaven. And and this is the proof of that this is the other nations, because look what he called it. And the gathering together of the waters he called. That wasn't us. This is referring to day 3 when he gathered together the waters that were only under the heavens. And he called the gathering together of the waters under the heavens the seas. That's how you got the marine kingdom. Oh no, yeah, you had to do that. You had to. Now go ahead.
I used to always wonder why that seas was capitalized.
Man, I didn't think about that. So it's the word yam, I believe, if I remember right. It's the word for seas, which is basically yod mem, which you can already just thinking about. You got the right hand, you got the right arm of Eluah, power over the waters. It's like it's power over the water, the power over the seas. That's just a quick, just thinking about the 2 letters right now without praying on it. But you can see that just in the word for seas, yod mem. Strong waters or something along those lines. Let's keep reading. Because remember, we are of the Shamayim. We are coming from the, remember Yahusha kept saying the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of the Shamayim. The kingdom that splits the seas. The kingdom that splits the Mayim, that splits the water. The kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's why Yahusha was like, man, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. He's like, the kingdom that splits waters is here. It's at hand, y'all. That's why when the kingdom of heaven was at hand during the time of the Exodus, the waters got split and dry land appeared and they crossed over, right? Let's keep going. Genesis 1. Let's do verse 11. Nah, we'll go ahead and skip down to verse 14. We'll go and skip down to day 4. No, let's do it. Verse 11. I'm about to apologize. Let's do it.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 11. Then Eluah said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, the herb that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind.
So, I'll go ahead.
And Eluah saw that it was through.
All right, let's skip down to verse Let's follow along. And let's skip down to verse 29. Let's look what Lewis said to Adam when he created Adam. Verse 29. Y'all there? Let's do it.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. And Lewis said, see, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth.
Y'all see this? Are y'all following this? Keep going.
And every tree whose fruit yields seed, to you it shall be for food.
It shall be for what?
Food.
It shall be for what?
Food.
He said, Yahuwah said he had given all of this to Adam. Let's go back to verse 11. Read verse 11 again.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 11. Then Lewis said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth. And it was so.
Now skip to verse 29. Let's read verse 29 again.
Verse 29. And Lewis said, see, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food.
Y'all see this? Okay, so this is why I'm bringing this up. Day 3, the Most High allowed dry land to appear. Then he brought forth all the vegetation for Adam for food for Adam. He brought that forth for Adam, for man. Let's look at verse 12. Let's keep going. Keep that in mind, y'all. Now, let's go to verse 14 now.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. Then Lewis said, let there be lights in the firmament of the Shamayim.
Oh, hold on. Where were the lights going to be at?
In the firmament
Okay, keep going.
of the Shamayim, to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs and seasons, and for days and years.
Uh-huh.
And let them be for lights in the firmament of the Shamayim, to give light on the earth. And it was so.
Okay, hold on. So, no, Nathaniel, hold on. So I want y'all to follow this, y'all. This is amazing. Aren't we the lights in the Shamayim? Didn't Yahusha say that we were supposed to be a light to the nations? No, the Torah said, Yahuwah said in the Torah that we were going to be a light to the nations. Then Yahusha said we're supposed to be the light, a light to the earth, all these types of things like that. He said we were supposed to be a light to the nations as well, though. He said he is the light, right? And when we be thinking about being a light to the nations, we be thinking that all, it sounds all floaty and like symbolic and stuff like that. But if you have the kingdom of the Shamayim, and the Shamayim, that's where Yahuwah made all the lights to be in what? The firmament, which Yahuwah called what? The Shamayim. So the stars, the sun, the moon are in the Shamayim. That's why Israel is always symbolized as being the stars, the sun, and the moon. Because we are the kingdom of heaven. You was going to do that, huh? You was going to bring that out, huh? I knew you had it. I knew that the devil got it. Are you on the, oh, yeah. If you have something, put in the chat, too, now. Yeah. Put it in the chat now. So, ooh, wait. Okay, all right. All right, let's get Nathaniel first. Go ahead.
It said Israel. I think somewhere in the scripture it says Israel is supposed to be like the world's supposed to look at us and know what time it is. And then also Joseph had a dream where his father and his mother were the sun and the moon, and his brothers were the 12 stars. So that's what Mushal was saying.
That's exactly what I was saying. Here you go, Anthony.
So what I was gonna say is that the sun is like the fire, and then the sky is, and the Shamayim is the water.
So y'all remember when Joseph's dad had the dream, right? I'm sorry, Joseph had the dream. He said, I dreamed I saw the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars, and they bowed down to me. And Jacob, Joseph's dad, already knew what it meant. He didn't say, oh, let me pray on it. Let me see if I can get the interpretation. He knew what it meant. He's like, oh, what? You trying to say that we going to have to bow down to you? He knew that they were of the Shamayim. He knew that the sun, moon, and stars represented them. He knew they were of the Shamayim. They were supposed to be the lights of the nations, or the children of Israel. When you go in Revelations 12, we talk about this prophecy all the time. There's a prophecy in Revelation 12 where it says the sun, the moon, with a head of 12 stars, something like that. Yeah, 12 stars on the head. It was a woman clothed with the sun, the moon, with 12 stars on her head. That's what it was. Which represented the nation of Israel, right? Does everybody remember that verse in Revelation 12? Who all remembers that verse in Revelation 12? Hallelujah. This is through. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. At least the majority. So there was some who didn't remember, who don't remember it. So somebody posted in there just that verse. Don't post the whole chapter. But the verse where it talks about in Revelation 12, posted in the chat about the sun and the moon, the woman who was clothed in the sun, the moon, with the 12 stars on her head, and she brought forth the child. That symbolized Yahusha. But the woman clothed with the sun, moon, and the stars, that represented the nation of Israel. That represented the kingdom of the Shamayim. That's why there's another scripture in Revelation that talks about the New Jerusalem coming out of. The New Jerusalem comes out of the Shamayim. Let's go to that one, y'all. We ain't touch on that one a whole lot. Revelation 12, we done touched on that one for about 28 times this year. I know y'all got that one down, but let's just look at this real quick. Revelation chapter 21. You said verse 10? Verse 2. Oh, perfect.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 2.
Give it about 20 more seconds. I think about maybe one person said con on you.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 2. Then I, Yahuchanan, saw the Kodesh city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of the Shamayim from Alua.
Coming down out of where?
Shamayim from Alua, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
So this city is coming out of the Shamayim, and this is coming out of the Shamayim, and it's prepared like a bride. How is a bride prepared for their husband? They're filled with lights. They're filled with jewels, with gold and ornaments, right? Which reflect the light. So they're shiny. They're filled with kavod. Kavod, you get what I'm saying? So when this is talking about the New Jerusalem coming out of heaven, I used to picture a city like descending from the skies. And I'm not saying that's impossible. Anything possible with Yahuwah, but I believe this is actually talking about us being the people of the Shamayim, the New Jerusalem, the city of David. And we are of the Shamayim. We came from heaven. We eternal beings that came from the Shamayim. You see what I'm saying? Being adorned, being in kavod, being beautiful, being cleansed by Yahuwah. and adorned in jewels. Remember we were talking about that last year when the covenant was first made, not too far after that, how Yahuwah, that was part of the eternal excellency. That's what we're going to be doing. That's why these resources are coming. The kavod is coming, and these different things like that. It's already been happening. Y'all seen what's going on with this Mishpacha 2 album? It's crazy how through that album is, man, for real. Just the quality and the y'all know I got a music background, so it's a lot of stuff I noticed that's just like, man, the level of quality is crazy. The way the vocals was mixed is just crazy. You would have thought for sure they was on $1 million studio recording this stuff. The level, the quality of them vocals, the way he mixed that stuff together, man, is crazy. That's kavod. Go ahead.
So you just talked about the kingdom coming down from the Shamayim. Then you said that we were in the firmament in the Shamayim. We were in the upper level of the waters, not the seas. The seas were the nations. Then Yahusha says that the kingdom is inside of you. And when he came, his first message was, repent, for the kingdom of Elua is at hand. But he came from the Shamayim. And he's like, the kingdom is inside of you. So how can the kingdom be coming from the Shamayim and be inside of you? We must be it then, because we came from the Shamayim. So the kingdom did come down. It is coming down and is here.
That's it, man. That's it. So think about this, y'all. So now we're getting you know, kind of the understanding the juices is flowing. Is there any lights in the seas? No. That's why it's the kingdom of darkness, the marine kingdom. They're the kingdom of darkness. There ain't no light there. There ain't no light. The only light they even have access to is from the people of the Shamayim. That's why part of our function is to be a light to the nations. There's no light. The nations don't produce no light. They're of the seas. Once you go down far enough in the seas, it's thick darkness. That's why even in the seas, a lot of the life, they stay where there's light at. A lot of the life in the oceans, the animals and stuff, and the fish and everything. Why do you think you can go fishing? Some people go deep sea fishing, and I was surprised about this. When you go out deep sea fishing and you go out, most of the parts of the deep parts of the ocean is almost like desert. Like the fish are at the reefs. The fish are where they have access to the light, where the light shines on. Man, that was one of the most beautiful things I've been talking about this forever. It was like in 2006 when I went. It's been almost 20 years ago, and I still talk about this. I tried to duplicate it. Me and the was trying to go, and still it just wasn't the same from that first time I went when I was young. I went to the Bahamas, man, and we went to a reef and went snorkeling at the reef. Y'all know how I be into that stuff anyway, that type of stuff. Man, it was so many colors on this reef, man. I try to take pictures. It just don't do justice, man. It's the most beautiful thing I ever experienced, man. They have this fish food, and then you can jump. I was a little, you know, but the Bahamians was doing backflips in that ocean. I'm like, okay, well, if they can do it, I can do this. They weren't even tripping. They were jumping in that water in that ocean with all them fish in there. I'm like, man, that snake, is there sharks in there? It was just like, you know, sometimes we'll see some. It'll be all right, man. It'll be all right. All right, let's do it. Jumped in there. My first time ever snorkeling in the ocean. I'm talking about you in the ocean, man. It's beautiful, though. Sapphire blue water. You know, if you ever been to the Bahamas, the Caribbean, it's clear. It's clean water out there. And they had this fish food that you can just let go. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a whole lot of fish food. And what'll happen, you'll get a whole schools of just colorful fish just surround you. swimming around, you eating the fish. It was the thubest thing I've ever seen, cause it's just all these different colors, man. It makes you really appreciate Yahuwah and how amazing Yahuwah is when it comes to His creation, man. The different colors of the coral and everything, and all this type of stuff. I just bring this up because that's really where the bulk of the fish be at, though, the reefs. When you talking about the ocean. That's why what they did when they wanted us to go snorkeling, okay, we're going to take this boat, we're going to go out to the reef. You would think, oh, man, we right here. You know, we just jump in there. You know, well, you know, you can do that, but the real fish, you go to the reef. So even in the oceans, it's darkness. The only light they get is from the Shamayim. Ain't nobody down in the ocean producing no light. Nobody. All right. Let's keep going. Genesis 1. All right, and I know y'all will probably have some other good stuff to say, but just go ahead and put it in the chat, and we'll cover that afterwards. I don't want to go late today. I was trying to make this a kind of a shorter one, because I know we went long last week. All right. We are on Genesis 1, verse. Let's do verse 15. Genesis 1, verse 15.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the Shamayim to give light on the earth. And it was so.
So hold on. Let's keep going with this, y'all. Let's keep going with this. Didn't Yahuwah say, what did Yahuwah say to Abraham? He would say, I will make your seed as numerous as the stars. And he also said, I will make your seed as numerous as what? Eretz. Y'all see that? Eretz and the heavens. There ain't no way you can make this up, man. This is showing Yahuwah how amazing Yahuwah is. Eretz is all about us, and the Shamayim is all about us. Eretz was made, I submit, for the people of the Shamayim to be able to dwell in. Eretz was a stronghold for Yahuwah and his people. That's what's in the word, a stronghold for Yahuwah and his Roshim, and his Rosh. Stronghold of Yahuwah and his Rosh. Eretz. That's why, man, we went to this conference, y'all. Let me tell y'all something, man. Look here. We went to this conference. They was talking about people need to live on the sea, on these sea pods. Remember that? Well, I was like, man, y'all crazy. People messing around, come up missing for real. You going into a whole new domain. People coming up missing, don't nobody know nothing. You messing around in the middle of that ocean like that. Just trying to live, trying to get away from the, you know, from the they're trying to get away from the judgment and from Babylonian captivity. They're trying to get out of captivity too. But I'm like, man, you got to serve Yahuwah. How about you join Israel and serve Yahuwah? Why are you trying to go live in the ocean? Y'all used to hear about that stuff with the Bermuda Triangle and stuff like that, man. They had all these people just come up missing. Don't nobody know nothing. All you got is guesswork. Man, I think there's maybe a sea monster out there, or maybe this and that, or nobody know nothing. People just coming up missing. It's way more than that don't be going public, man. You start talking to the West Africans, they be telling them, the West Africans be on the coast, they be having all kind of stories too. People messing around in that ocean, man.
They think they're going up there. They ain't going up there. They're going down to the water, to the bottom.
Yo, it's like when we went into captivity on them ships, on them slave ships. It was we literally, see, we didn't think about this. We literally descended down in the Sheol. We did. We came from the Shamayim. and had to go on them ships. And it was like you were descending down. You were coming from like you were going on the waters, descending down into Sheol. That's why in the scriptures, Yahuwah called the lands where we were scattered Sheol, which is what we would call hell. Your graves, Sheol. Hasn't there been a word coming out about how Yahuwah has put the kabod on us? Kabod is about glory, it's about shining. Like it's about emanating light. The word for stars is associated with the word kabod. I believe the word for stars is kab. Kuvbet. Kavod is kuvbet dalet. The word kavod is about shining light. It's about glory. What's the word for stars? Is it kabab? A kab? Kab. So you know it's related to stars. They're closely related to each other. So if you want to get an idea of what kavod means, look at a star. It shines. It shines even in the night. It's beautiful. It shines. If you look at like a diamond or something, a jewelry, it looks like a star. From far, if you look at jewelry and how it shines, how it reflects light when it's on somebody's neck, it's like a star in the sky. Look at like be in the country and look at the stars. It looks like someone who's just blinged out. It's beautiful, especially in the country. Kavod is a certain light emanating from you. That's why they would call the people in Hollywood and stuff, they would call them stars. Let's keep reading. Keep that in mind. Now, verse 16 is very important. Y'all read this along. Verse 16, let's do it.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 16. Then Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day.
The greater light to do what?
Rule the day.
To rule? Oh, snap. Keep going.
And the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also.
Oh, snap. Keep going.
Elohim set them in the firmament of the Shamayim to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness.
So the lights were put in the Shamayim to have dominion, to rule? Look, y'all, look here. Now, look, this ain't the end of it. Now, look what is the Hebrew word for rule here? So it's memshala, which is based off of the word mushal. It's just basically the feminine version. That's why we call mushala and not mushal. But it means to rule, dominion, and realm. It's the same thing as mushal means the same thing. It's the mem, sheen, lamed in there. So it's about the splitting of the waters. Let's see here. So the people of the kingdom of the Shamayim was always designed to have dominion. This level of kabod, we say, who are showing us all this stuff, and now you can actually see it in the scriptures too. It all lines up. This was set up since creation, man. This was set up since creation. All right, let's look at clouds. So, where are clouds at? They're in the Shamayim, right? So it's interesting that the Hebrew word for clouds is anan, which is literally about experiencing. It's about seeing the kingdom of heaven. It's about experiencing the kingdom of heaven. Because the two noons give a connotation of eternity. It's like a perpetual continuation of the seed. You get what I'm saying? It's about a continuation of the seed. It's the two noons together gives the connotation of eternity. Y'all get it? So it's about experiencing the kingdom of heaven. It's about seeing the kingdom. That's what the clouds is about. We just talked about this, that Yahuwah had led his people. That's in this Torah portion. He led the children of Israel with a cloud by day. And it was but a fire by night. But let's look at this in Numbers chapter 9. Go to Numbers chapter 9. It's about seeing the kingdom of Elua. It's about seeing the kingdom of the Shamayim. It's about seeing eternity. It's about experiencing the eternal seed. All right, Numbers chapter 9, and we're going to start with verse 15. Y'all ready? All right, let's go. I'll tell you when to stop.
Numbers chapter 9, verse 15. Now on the day that the tabernacle was raised up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, the tent of the testimony, from evening until morning. And it was above the tabernacle like the appearance of fire. So it was always, the cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. Whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tabernacle, after the children of Israel would journey, and in the place where the cloud settled, there the children of Israel would pitch their tents.
Did it say where the fire settled? That's where they pitched their tents? So the primary guidance was with the cloud. Let's keep reading.
Verse 18. At the commandment of Yahuwah, the children of Israel would journey, and at the command of Yahuwah, they would camp. As long as a cloud stayed above the tabernacle, they remained encamped. Even when the cloud continued long, many days above the tabernacle, the children of Israel kept the charge of Yahuwah and did not journey.
What about the fire? The cloud was the primary determination as far as when to leave and when to sit still. The fire by night, but it was the cloud by day. Let's keep going.
Verse 20. So it was, when the cloud was above the tabernacle a few days, according to the commandment of Yahuwah, they would remain encamped. And according to the commandment of Yahuwah, they would journey. So it was, when the cloud remained only from evening until morning, when the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they would journey, whether by day or by night. Whenever the cloud was taken up, they would journey. Whether it was 2 days, a month, or a year that the cloud remained above the tabernacle, the children of Israel would remain encamped and not journey. But when it was taken up, they would journey. At the command of Yahuwah, they remained encamped, and at the command of Yahuwah, they journeyed. They kept the charge of Yahuwah at the commandment of Yahuwah by the hand of Moshe.
Hallelujah. The cloud is about experiencing the kingdom of heaven. It's about experiencing the kingdom of heaven. It was about keeping the Torah. It was about the Torah. That's why it was the cloud that settled when they had to be still, and it was the cloud that moved when it was the cloud that determined whether they needed to move or to be still. The fire would come at night. That's why the clouds, even in real life, they stay suspended in the Shamayim. The clouds stay suspended in the Shamayim. That's why you read all throughout the scriptures, Yahuwah, he'll speak through the cloud. Even Yahusha, there's prophecies where Yahusha says, I'm coming and I'm coming in the clouds. I'm coming with the clouds. Even in the covenant that Yahuwah made with Noah, look what he says. And Yahuwah said, this is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I set my rainbow where? So even in the covenant that Yahuwah made with Noah, I don't know why I missed this at first. It's just more stuff Yahuwah showing. The covenant, a big part of the covenant was the cloud that Yahuwah made with. Oh, yeah, I didn't put the whole thing in there. We got to see this. Go to Genesis 9. And look at verse 14. Just read that one verse. I mean, no, 14 and 15. No, 14 through 16.
Genesis chapter 9, verse 14. It shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth.
Y'all see this? This covenant is all about the cloud. Say it again.
Verse 14. It shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud.
The rainbow shall be seen in the cloud. Because the cloud is about experiencing the kingdom of heaven. Keep going.
And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. The waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. The rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will look on it and remember the everlasting covenant between Yahuwah and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. And Yahuwah said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth.
Khan, that's the cloud, Anan. That's the cloud. Do y'all know that the first time the word cloud is mentioned in Torah, Anan, is regarding the covenant Yahuwah made with Noah? That's the first time Anan is mentioned in the whole scriptures. It's Genesis 9, very first mention. This is about the kingdom of heaven. Just to show y'all, just to drive the point home, just a couple of other examples. I'll just read real quick. I don't got to turn there. We'll read Hebrews 12, 1 through 2.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses.
A cloud of what?
Witnesses.
Oh, snap. So now this is associating witnesses with a cloud. Keep going.
Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Yahusha, the author and finisher of our emunah, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of Yahuwah.
Hallelujah. Because a witness is about experiencing something too. That's Ayin Dalet. It's about experiencing Yahusha. And the cloud is about experiencing the kingdom. It's about experiencing the perpetual seed, the kingdom, the seed continuing perpetually. So that makes sense why the cloud and how witnesses are associated with each other. How the cloud and being a witness is associated with each other.